This video is about building a basic deck. It's the some rules, one way to build a basic deck with a twist because the platform isn't flat at all. It's potato chippy and janky. So if you pay attention, you'll learn how to build a basic deck, and you'll also learn how to build a janky basic deck.
So the first thing you do when you get a print is figure out where the set's going to live on the stage. It's called a spotting plan. And you want to snap two lines. They're going to be your reference lines for the rest of this set. You can pick exterior lines are the best. You don't want your reference lines inside your set because you're going to lose sight of them in no time flat. Some people like to take their reference lines and put them outside the set, so that they can always reference them and they're never up against the set. It's not a bad idea. This set, for instance, was 2 inches off of the crack in the floor. The crack in the floor, as it turns out, is pretty straight. It's an awesome reference. It's also 16 inches from this crack in the floor. I'll double check to make sure the cracks in the floor are square. I'm pretty sure they are. And I'll explain how to check that out later. Take your time and lay out your reference line nice and straight like a laser beam. Alright, it turns out the guys that put the cracks in this floor didn't know a square when it bit them. What we did was we did a 3, 4, 5 triangle check. A triangle with 3 cubits by 4 cubits has 5 cubits in the hypotenuse. 3 meters, 4 meters, 5 meters. 3 feet, 4 feet, 5 feet. 3 inches, inches, inches. So we did a 6 by 8 triangle on the existing crack and checked to see if it was indeed 10 feet. And it wasn't. This line veers pretty considerably. So we're going to reestablish a new line using that same technique, and we're going to put down our version of square as opposed to their version of square. It happens. Turns out overall the line is square. It just isn't straight. So it kind of veers this way, but it gets back to straight. So if we snap a line along this line, it veers off here, but it gets back here, and the set's big enough to where it doesn't matter. We're just gonna go with it. All right. So the set is 16 inches off the control line. The control line's on the crack because it was convenient. They want the set this far away from the stage wall, so that's the set. This line just coincidentally was within 2 inches of where they wanted the set, so I took the liberty of moving the set over this way 2 inches so that I could use that line. I put a second control line over here 16 inches. There's no difference in the colors changing, doesn't have anything to do with anything. It's just the tape that I could find. Now keep in mind, when I'm pulling off of this line, I got to put my tape in this crack and push it that way to get an accurate number so that it's on this line right here. I put the tape outside the set so that when you set the set down, you're not covering your tape. If you have a wall that sits on the floor here, before you know it, you can't see the tape. Here, you can see the tape just fine if you put the set here. This happens to be a platform, so those aren't really that important. I just did it out of force of habit. So now that we got our control lines down in the beginning of the 2 walls of the set, I know the distance of the set is 17 feet. Going out there and measuring that. Go down there, measure 17 feet, snap a line, put tape on it. Right, now I know that I want to go 40 feet 6 inches, so I set this physical stop on my tape inside. I go down here, "40 foot 6 inches." "40 foot 6 inches. Mark the back of the laser. Then just connect the dots. From there to there, we snap this nice line. I was going to put the tape on the outside. So I snapped pairs of lines based off my center line. So actually it was 3 lines. You can see them here. And these are where my feet are placed on for the deck. Alright, so we've squared us a rectangle, put our tape down, control line, snapped our grid for our supports, put our Simpson hardware on the floor with some Tapcons. And this method of doing it is one of many, and they're all good. Don't listen to anybody who says one's better than the other. 6x6 uprights. We're going to put a 6x6 girder across it. This floor is really unique in that it's saggy and all messed up on purpose. That's why that leg over there is much shorter than that leg. I got about a 3 or 4 inch discrepancy in the whole floor. It's going to make it real fun building the set, but this isn't a video about the sets. Because the deck isn't level, the joists aren't either. So what we've done is where the nodes are, we cut them. Not all the way through though. Then we're going to mend them. This deck was so low. The only thing I could think of to tie to these posts to keep them from wobbling was just to lay a sleeper 2x6 underneath them. I actually had to notch it on that last one because there wasn't enough room for it, but this should keep everything good and solid. This is the mending plate.
Alright, so I'm going to stop right now and tell you that there's an assumption that I'm making about you as a prop maker, and that's that you know layout for joists. We're going on 2-foot centers. You gotta know that by now. You're a prop maker. That's a different video though. We'll talk. Call me.
So we're putting the finishing touches on the scabs. Got them all in. And as you can see, it's horrible. It's hard to get used to doing something like that. You're afraid that somebody you love and care for will actually see it and think, Daddy's an idiot. Anyway, skin a little bit. To get it solid and solidified over there and square. Put some blocking in. Blocking is appropriate sizes. You know that because you're a prop maker. You know how it works. Yeah, I know we're skinning this thing in 1/2 inch. That's because we were told to. They want it to not only be potato chippy, they want it to be spongy and creaky, and boy are they going to get spongy and creaky. It's still a safe floor though. No one's going to fall through it because it's getting a 3/4 sheathing on top of it. It's going to get floorboards. It's going to be more than strong enough. But this is exactly what I'm talking about when I tell you how to make a janky floor. Alright, so there's your janky deck. And when I say janky, I mean uninspiring, creaky, spongy, embarrassing deck. It's not how you do it, ladies and germs. But this is a how-to video.